Hi everyone, today we're going to be reviewing The Shaman's Dream by Alberto Villoldo and Colette Baron-Reid. I have tried to record this a couple times and I can just never pronounce his name correctly, so I apologize for butchering that. But we're going to be doing a full review of this deck today. I purchased it a little while ago just because it is a Colette Baron-Reid deck and I've been working with it pretty much well, I would say like every other day now. I've kind of shifted over from Oracle of the Seven Energies to this recently. So I've been working with it a fair amount. And let me just read the back for you. So the price says it's around $29.99 if you're looking to purchase it. I think Amazon had it for like 25 or 26 bucks. So the back says, "We are all sacred dreamers, dreaming the world into being. What will you dream?" The Shaman's Dream Oracle is a powerful collaboration between master teachers Alberto Villoldo and Colette Baron-Reid. The imagery and insight draw from the shamanic dream world of archetypes and magic, yet offer fresh contemporary interpretations. You'll discover mythic landscapes and spirit beings and understand how this sacred realm shapes our experiences in the waking world. This oracle will reveal how your dreamscapes guide you to co-create your world and manifest your most precious intentions. So I think the main difference between the Mystical Shaman Oracle and this deck, the Shaman's Dream, is that the Mystical Shaman's Oracle is really focused on shamanic symbolism, whereas this is focused on more of a universal symbolism. And Colette does talk about that in the guidebook, and I just realized that I left the guidebook downstairs. So it's a very typical Colette Baron-Reid guidebook. It looks exactly like her others. She doesn't use reversals in this deck, and you're probably going to get about 2 to 3 small paragraphs of information for each draw, but they're very upfront. Guidebook meanings, very easy to work with. If you're absolutely new to working with Oracle decks, you can absolutely work with that guidebook and get a lot out of it. So that guidebook is, you know, it's exactly what you would expect from Colette. But in the guidebook, she talks about this deck using more modern day symbolism as opposed to being really associated with shamanic symbolism. So you're looking at a deck that's really rooted in today's world, today's energy, and it does have a different feel than Mystical Shaman. Now, of the two, personally, I prefer Mystical Shaman, but I think that this deck is a worthy deck in the Colette collection for sure. Let me show you the backs of the cards. So this is what the backing to the cards look like. You know, it's not my favorite. It's not my least favorite. It's fine. It's a regular size. Here's Rider-Waite-Smith to compare for you. So it's a typical Colette Baron-Reid Hay House deck. The cardstock is like kind of matte, but it's, I don't know. I feel like Hay House has really just been phoning it in. I have to say that. I'm sorry, guys. I know some of you will not agree with me, and I don't mean any disrespect, but I feel like they're charging more and the cardstock quality is a lot cheaper. It just doesn't feel as nice as some of their older decks do, but it's kind of in that matte family while not being like straight up 100% matte or the type of matte that, say, Blue Angel Gallery has. So I'm going to show you some of the images now. As I said, she's not using reversals in this deck, so, or I should say they are not using reversals in this deck, and so I don't have any reversed here in mine. The artwork is okay. It's not my favorite Jenna DeGrotalia deck. I would say I probably prefer the artwork a little bit more in Oracle of the Seven Energies, definitely a lot more in the Mystical Shaman Oracle. However, this is a typical Colette deck. This deck reads really well for people. It's typically spot on, and it's very, very easy to work with. So as I said, if you are new to working with Oracle or Tarot decks, this is a nice way to kind of dip your toes in the water without feeling overwhelmed or anxious. And the guidebook has a lot of energy of like a kind of, it's not a positive affirmation. I don't mean it like that because it's not, but kind of giving you insight and guidance, practical insight and guidance for every day. insofar as how you're going to apply the card draw to your day if you're doing a daily draw. And if you're using the deck as a clarifier, this is yet another Colette deck that's very sweet to use as a clarifier because it's to the point. You don't have to spend a lot of time with these cards in order to suss out the meaning and to understand what it's teaching you, which is a very nice thing. You know, we all love meaty decks. We all love decks that you really want to work to get to know, right? I like to earn those type of things. So I love that type of guidebook and deck and energy in general. But this deck is not like that, and that's not a bad thing. Not every deck that we own can be like that or should be like that, really. And this is one that's just simple, straightforward, to the point, and that's it. You know, it's very rooted in today. And so I would say to you, if you're looking for something like the Mystical Shaman, it's not going to be like that. This doesn't have that same feeling. But it's very typical Colette and Jenna de Gratalia energy. And as I said, it's really great to clarify with. So I'm going to show you a couple more images, and then just for fun, I'll give you an example of how I would clarify with this deck so that you can see that. But it's great for daily draws. You know, I've been using it with Murder of Crows Tarot. I will say, I really can't stand this image. And it's such a nice card. It's called Joyful Muse Inspiration. It's such a nice card, but every time I draw it, it just makes me cranky because I really, really, really don't like this image. There are some images that I just don't enjoy in this deck. But as I said, it reads like a charm. So like, what are you gonna do? Not work with it? I gotta work with it because it only improves my readings. So that's where I'm at as far as the feel of this one. I do like this image. I mean, I don't really know what we were doing with the eye there, but there's that. There was one, this one's kind of cool. I thought there was one that I like this one too. The Fallen Angel one is pretty. So there are some that are lovely to look at. Like, that's nice. But I thought maybe not. Maybe it's Oracle of the Seven Energies that has the one with the rose. There's an image with a rose that I really like, but I don't think it's this deck. I think it's Oracle of the Seven Energies. Oh, I do like that one though. Hold on, let me just check myself here. Yeah, it's not in this deck, but I do, ooh, excuse me, I do like this image though, this Moon Maiden one. That's very pretty. So I'm gonna give you an example of how easy this deck is to clarify. So whenever I do these sample reads, guys, I know some of you say like, wow, that felt like it was for me. If you feel like the reading applies to you, then feel free to take it. So I'm gonna use the OG Rider-Waite-Smith here. This is my teacher's deck. And let's say, let's see, what should we talk about? Let's say that I want to know about a situation with a family member or a friend, someone that I have a close connection to in my life, right? And I have 8 of Wands, 5 of Swords, and the Queen of Swords. So as I'm looking at this, I would say in regards to this area, it's very important for me to set some healthy boundaries and to be really honest. There needs to be honest communication and healthy boundaries. I might be feeling like I've been taken advantage of, and the cards are affirming that something has gone on where there wasn't an appropriate reciprocal balance, right? In some way, perhaps I have been taken advantage of, and that's certainly my perspective as I'm looking at the cards, right? So let's say that I want to clarify my 7 of Wands. Let's say that I want to know what is the healthy boundary that I should be setting with this friend or family member in my life. So what is the healthy boundary here? Notice that I'm asking that question as I'm pulling. And then I get a Feast of Plenty, choices and their consequences. So I would say with this showing up, it's important for me to say no to something. Part of the healthy boundary that I might need to set with this friend or family member, is to say no. Maybe it's an event they want me to attend. Maybe it's something that they want me to go out and do with them. But it's clear from this pull that the boundary I need to set is a no to something that I don't want to do. And so that's where I can set a healthy boundary for myself in regards to this connection. So you see how fast it is to clarify with this deck. It's like, boom, there it is. Like you don't have to waste time. Not that it's a waste of time, but there's no time that's spent sussing out, a deeper under the surface aspect. It's just straight up and to the point. So if you're looking for a deck like that in your Oracle collection and you feel drawn to this artwork and you like Colette decks, this is another worthy addition to your collection for sure. And I think you'll definitely get use out of it. Do I think that it's an absolute must for someone? No. But I think if you like Colette decks, and if you find, as I do, that they're very accurate as clarifying decks, you will enjoy having this in your collection. And I also think if you're new to working with Oracle decks, this is one that's not going to feel scary or overwhelming, but still give you a good experience. So those are my thoughts on the Shaman's Dream Oracle. I hope this helps you if you're sitting on the fence with purchasing or not. I am sending you all, as always, much love and many blessings. I'll see you in the next video.